Alrighty, welcome back to the Doom 3 commentary with me, Skully the Metalhead. I'm finally back after... well, I say finally back, but I never really left, because the commentaries were uploaded a lot later than I really anticipated. As of right now, we are entering the Delta section of the UAC facility, and I'd say we're a little bit over halfway past done with the game. Of course, you saw an imp run past the window, so that only means that things are starting to look a little dingier around here. I think I should probably turn the volume down a little bit. But, yeah, things are starting to get pretty serious. Because as if demon invasions weren't already serious enough, but before I continue, let's listen to another log entry.
This is the audio log of Robert Price, Delta Operational Director in charge of personnel, recruitment, evaluation, and placement. Assignment of engineers to the lower Delta labs has become almost impossible. In 6 months, we've gone from a volunteer surplus to a critical deficiency of qualified personnel willing to accept assignment. Increases in both pay and benefits have done little to help the situation. Through exit interviews as well as the weekly Delta medical brief, it's become apparent to everyone that the rate of sudden and unexplained mental illness is way beyond acceptable levels, even from ours. They're derogatorily being called sub-delts up here, and I have a feeling this attitude will spread to other parts of the UAC. End of log. This is the audio log of Robert Price, Delta Operational Director in charge of personnel, recruitment, evaluation, and placement. Disciplinary Action Report 40C-8, responding to Mars City Administration request. Delta Labs 1 is currently addressing a problem concerning theft of security equipment. 4 members of the security detail assigned to the Delta Labs have been reprimanded with 3 others under investigation. It seems caches of weapons, armor, and ammo have been discovered in various places throughout the Delta Labs. We've located some of the missing equipment and have information that we hope will lead us to more. I have a team investigating Storage Room 21D with security code 298, where I've learned stolen items may be located. I hope to recover all items and find all personnel responsible. End of log.
So, mental illness and stolen supplies... Actually, on that note, I actually really do kind of like how it does give a bit of an explanation as to how, well, everything was pretty much strewn about the UAC base. Again, you know, it's... I really like touches like that in games. Like whenever they... Whoa. Okay, that was weird. But anyway, as I was saying, I really do like it when games just... give a little bit of world-building explanation as to why things are in a very video game fashion. In fact, I think Resident Evil 2 actually did something a little bit similar with Police Chief Brian Ine scattering ammo all about the police station just to fuck with his men. Of course, he was under the Umbrella Corporation's payroll. Fuck. Paywall. Modern gaming in a nutshell. But, yeah, our main objectives for this section is basically to restore power to the reactor core. Now, of course, we can't really seem to do that since, well, you know, things are kind of fucking up around here. And that's pretty much our overarching thing. There are... cutscenes around here are few and far between, so... yeah, there's one more cutscene involving a certain... well, I don't really like to speak his name, but Sergeant Kelly has a little something to say. And that's another plot point that I'll probably get into in a little bit soon. But however, after that cutscene, it's pretty much just all commentary from there. See, look at how much damage this base is sustaining. The helpful signs are fading. Yeah, but on that note, I really do like the progressive damage. I don't know, like, it really shows Hell's corrupting influence over the UAC base, which, again, it's a subtle change, but one that I love all the same compared to, well, Doom's classic incarnations. Holy fuck, that was freaky. Lag. Excuse me a second. Okay. Things seem to be running a little bit smoothly. My editor seems to be lagging a lot because I have a lot of programs open. Excuse me. That's mostly because I'm just doubling this while also working the Metal Gear review that I'm currently working on. And by Metal Gear I mean the original Metal Gear for the MSX, because that's the season finale of Skully Reviews, which, aside from a creepy imp crawling across the ceiling, that's what I'm working on, and will probably be uploaded a little bit after this part, actually. Since I seem to space the uploads about 2 weeks apart, which I really don't mean to do, but I've just been busy battling a cold. which I've just recently gotten over, and I tend to infrequently cough for some reason. Don't know why, but, you know, that's just how things are, so hopefully this part will turn out okay, and as soon as we put in the little power terminal thing... This isn't the thing we need, by the way. The reactor core still needs to be turned on, but this just tells us where it is via the map. The reactor core. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up now and let you guys listen to Sergeant Kelly.
Connection established.
Green, this is Kelly. If you're watching this, you're tougher than I thought. I guess things aren't always what they seem. Plans have changed. Data Complex 1's been compromised. You're not safe there. I'm moving to Secure Service Tunnel 1. It's not far from your position. We'll meet there.
So, looks like Sergeant Kelly's in trouble. I don't trust that son of a bitch. No matter how injured he may claim to be, he always seems to be leading us into danger. I'm suspicious. But seriously though, yep, from this point on, it's all commentary, and that means I have to not be able to shut up and essentially just provide some interesting tangents to, to talk about. Excuse me. Yeah. Pinky! Which, yep, there he is. Oh god. I think I might have brought this up in one of the previous parts, but I really do like the Doom movie's design for Pinky. And not in terms of the actual character, I mean of the monster, which he turns into, surprisingly enough. I don't know, the wheelchair part of it, I just like the cyber-organic design. But of course, since that is not enough to hold a lengthy conversation tangent, I will refer to topics which I have in my mind. As I previously alluded to before as well though, like in terms of my upload schedule for this, I've been meaning to release these parts as just something that's bi-weekly. I mean, obviously not weekly since, you know, the life and the things get in the way of this, but, you know, just something relatively frequently, just so, yeah, there isn't like a complete overhaul of content. You know, just, because again, what Doom 3 and, or essentially all my commentaries are, it's just filler until, you know, the next review comes out. And the reason why I make Doom 3 bi-weekly is just to, give me a bit of time to relax and give me also, just a little bit more time just to kick back and chill, because the reason why I record these at intervals at a time, because, like, I mean, the previous session, which I believe was at part 12, that was all recorded in October, which is why you heard me mentioning Halloween when we were, like, midway through November. Of course, the reason I do that is because, you know, I have a backlog and, you know, I can essentially just put something up while people are busy waiting for the next review, because, again, a dry spell on content can probably just mean bad things and boredom. And nobody likes to be bored, so I'd like to think that I at least give people something, well, meagerly entertaining, with my many rambles and general personality. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was... Again, the way those guys just charge you was actually kind of frightening in a weird way. Like, it's not even a jump scare, but it's just so effective in the sense that, you know, you have this big, powerful bruiser just rushing at you. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I sound like an old man who just goes on with stories that don't really go anywhere. But anyway, to cut the tangent nice and sweet, again, I'm recording this in December, and this probably won't go up until a little bit after Christmas, so I think the Metal Gear review will probably already be out by that point, at which point I'll probably have to focus on the Sonic Marathon that I've got planned, which I've actually had planned since 2015, because, I don't know, for those of you who don't know my channel, it is either, I suppose it could probably be classed as either the Sonic or the Silent Hill guy, because those are the two franchises that I think I've promoted the most here. And I would have had the Silent Hill creature feature updated as well if it wasn't for the fact that my previous editor had fucked up on me. And now I'm just kind of reluctant to continue that at all, because I'm just not sure if things will fuck up. Also, hard drive space is another big issue. Like, I found myself running really short on hard drive space, and it's been kind of pissing me off.
Your friends are with me. Now, friend, soon you will join them.
You know, I've honestly been bipolar about just letting Betruga's little taunts play. Again, the voice actor does a fantastic job of you know, announcing them. But again, I've talked over quite a few of them in previous parts, so I'm not sure if you want me to leave them in, then I'll be sure to do so for future parts, but... Yeah, you see, even that laugh. I mean, real props to his voice actor, which, as I mentioned in a previous part, I believe he passed away actually, which is so sad because he did a phenomenal job as Dr. Petruga in this game. Such a shame. And now I must continue the tangent. I'm pretty sure I've got... Okay, we're 10 minutes into recording, I've got like another 12 minutes to talk about something. And as of recently, I believe the trailer came out on December 3rd, but I only saw it, well, literally this morning. Yeah, I recently saw the trailer for the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which is, for those of you who don't know, is the HD remasters of the PlayStation 1 Crash Bandicoot games. Oh, bar Crash Team Racing, but again, it's the main platformers made by Naughty Dog that people are really caring about. I watched the trailer, both the announcement and a little bit of gameplay footage, and I'm thoroughly impressed. Like, again, they only show footage of Crash 1, since I guess that's probably the furthest in development, but again, I am really impressed by the amount of detail they put into, and I mean, again, it's made by Activision, or more specifically by Vicarious Visions, who worked on, I believe it was Crash Nitro Kart, actually. But yeah, I am really impressed by the amount of detail they went into it. I mean, not only in the visuals, but also for a lot of the remixed music, the new sound effects. Again, I'm just... Like, if you haven't seen the trailer yet and you're a Crash Bandicoot fan, I recommend you do, because honestly, the amount of effort they put into the trailer is top-notch. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, like, when they announced the Crash Bandicoot remasters, which I believe I did in my electronic explosion video, again, I was thoroughly impressed with how... Again, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but honestly, I really like what they did with the visuals. Like, I mean, especially for Crash 1 specifically. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess I was just expecting a very cartoonish aesthetic, but I don't know, somehow they seem to match the balance between, you know, the grounded, earthy setting of Crash Bandicoot 1, yet they also mixed it with a little bit more, you know, of a wacky, cartoonish visual, which, again, the balance works quite nice. And it honestly kind of sounds to me that more games don't really tend to do that. Or at least anymore. You used to see it all the time in the 6th iteration. And if you'll excuse my stuttering here, it seems that the editor is lagging, so... And it's gonna come up with a message saying that, oh, did you know that frames dropped? Yeah, no fucking shit, frames dropped, you fucking idiot. So just excuse me for a second while I patch this up. There we go, things seem to be running a bit smoothly now, and honestly, thank God I do this post-commentary style. Like, I mean, I cannot honestly, I would dread what I would do if I was playing live, and even then, I can't really do that well, either, because... Again, if I'm playing live, I can't really talk as... Usually when I'm playing video games, unless of course it's something I'm playing with friends, I just tend to be dead silent. Or unless of course the game makes me really angry, in which case I'll start swearing like a sailor. They call me the Thweatherlot from the kingdom of Spamalot. But anyway, we finally reached the Reactor... Oh my god, I am so sorry. Yeah, we finally reached the Reactor core, and now we just have to turn it on. And am I the only one who gets some Metal Gear vibes from it? Like, again, I know it's a very... Maybe I've been playing too much Metal Gear 1, and this does certainly not resemble the TX-55 Metal Gear from that game, but... I don't know, it's just a giant thing. Like, it kind of reminds me of Metal Gear Rex, actually. But again, it's just a Reactor core, so... What am I complaining about?
Warning. Reactor core offline.
Initialize power!
Attention. Reactor core online.
I'm not sure if I commented on the visual design of Doom 3, but I think Doom 3 probably has one of my favourite aesthetics out of the entire series. And again, I might have commented this all the way back in part 1, but again, it's been a while since I recorded, so you'll have to forgive me if I repeat a few tangents here and there. But anyway, back to its visual design, I really love the industrial aesthetic. Like, I mean, it certainly feels a lot more like a science facility. And, again, I just love the industrial vibe it has. I mean, it feels lived in. You know, like the natural wear and tear of Mars has just gotten to it a little bit. And, again, it just feels very much like something that we'd see in our lifetime. Assuming, of course, that humans ever do colonize Mars, which, as it stands now, seems to be getting closer and closer by the day. Again, I don't exactly know when we are going to get to Mars, because I remember hearing I think it was back in 2015, about how they were planning on having a first manned flight to Mars. I'm not exactly sure what happened to that, because I read it, well, back when it first came, well, when a lot of the articles were coming out, but yeah, if we ever reach Mars, I'm I'd be surprised. Just wonder if Doom 3 would ever actually happen. You know? But that's just a weird tangent. I'm pretty sure there won't be any actual demons on Mars. Whatever. Anyway, now that power's been restored, we now have to head back to the elevator that we were at before. Yeah, take that, bitch. Anyway, because we have to head to that elevator, it leads us to the next section, which Sergeant Kelly told us to meet him up at. And I gotta say though, the Delta Complex, I'm hard-pressed to say that they're probably some of my favourite levels in the game, although they do have their fair share of bullshit, which, to me, comes in the form of a certain enemy, which comes later on. Or more specifically, an enemy variant, because if you know the, commando troopers that, you know, just run at you and attack you with their little tentacle, yeah, there's a variant of them which I fucking hate to death. And it's for the stupidest fucking reason as well, because... like, I mean, if you have a stigma against enemies using guns, I mean, this is just... angerish. And honestly, it's not even like the Z6 security troopers either, like how they have machine guns, shotguns, although those are pretty annoying as well. You know, the shotgun ones are bearable because you can usually take them out pretty quickly, but considering the fact that the commandos are bullet sponges, it just makes things frustrating, and it's just something I really don't enjoy. But again, I can see why it's kind of the point since, you know, video game, progressively harder enemies, but honestly, there's a real difference between, you know... It's not that enemy. Honestly, though, there's a real difference between creating an enemy that, you know, you have to find their pattern and find their weakness, and just saying like, oh, here's padding because bullet sponge. Which is the kind of difficulty I can't stand, really. Or difficulty in terms of, like, we're gonna just sparsely place checkpoints at very far intervals. Ahem, ahem, Ratchet and Clank. But that's a series I'll hopefully get to later. Okay, it's kind of ambient. Whoa. More enemies. Wonderful. And I'm out of tangents too. Alright, 17 minutes, so things shouldn't last too long. Whoa! You see, again, it's a very subtle jump scare that I kind of wish Doom 3 did a little bit more of. Like, I mean, again, you usually know when enemies coming by the, you know, the whispering of, yeah, it's alive, and then they just teleport in, which I kind of wish they did a little bit more with, you know, enemies just sneaking up on you and surprising you. Like, I mean, not even necessarily announcing their presence, like, rah! You know, just sneaking up on you and then just getting the drop on you by attacking you, you know? I mean, it seems a little bit more in character with the storyline about how the demons were just whispering into people's ears and causing the said mental illness that was mentioned back in the PDA. Whoa! God, I'm quite surprised at how these enemies are surprisingly on footage which I already recorded. God damn. Oh god, is that... Nope, that's not it. I know for a fact that it's somewhere in this video, but... And I'll point it out to you, because it is the bane of my existence. I think maybe it might be when we get to the next floor. I know for a fact that it's in this somewhere. Pinky! I don't even know why the hell I do that anymore. I just said it as a joke in one part of the video of the Doom 3 commentary, and now it's just stuck with me. Maybe it'll be a catchphrase, yeah, because that's what people are gonna remember me for. Hey, do you remember that one commentary where he said Pinky? I love that line. It's the love of my life. And now, you know I'm just running out of commentary because I'm speaking random bullshit. And I just snorted there. I don't have cocaine. It's a little bit scary in there, and I think this might be it, actually. No. Yeah, I don't really like to use grenades in this game. I think it's mostly because they tend to work on, like, you know, actual physics, and they tend to bounce around a lot. Yeah, I've usually had a lot of bad experiences with using grenades in Doom. Well, Doom 3 specifically. In the original Doom, they're pretty much fine since... to my knowledge, anyway, because I haven't played them in a little while. They don't bounce around, like these ones do. Goddamn stupid realistic physics. It's 2004. Games weren't supposed to be, like, hyper-realistic yet. Oh, this is it. You probably couldn't see it very well because, you know, I'm just busy hiding in the shadows, but yeah, those enemies with the fucking chain guns. bane of my fucking existence. Oh god, here they come now! Ah, you son of a bitch. Again, thankfully, I don't think they move. Well, except for side... Oh god, they do move, I was mistaken. Oh god, I hate them so much, because again, chain guns, you know, true to their nature, are rapid-fire bullets, which again, can drain your health really easily. And again, the commandos, again, it makes sense for them to use chain guns, but the fact that they're bullet sponges just pisses me off, because they just absorb so much damage, and the bullets and the chain gun bullets can take away your health so quickly. It's just... Oh god, I honestly dread the Delta section purely because of that. You know, I mean... Again, those arguably are the worst enemies in the game. Like, I mean, Z-Sec security troops with, you know, shotguns, I can deal with that, but chain gun commandos are just bastards. Again, like, even the tentacle ones, I can handle them pretty easily. Well, I say that, but I'm getting my ass kicked, but... the chain gun ones are just fucking... But anyway, we're reaching the end of the part now, so... Any final concluding tangents is that I'm going to be once again marathoning the Doom 3. We are reaching... I'd say we're a little over halfway done by this one, as I mentioned earlier. So it's not as if, you know, we've got another long stretch of game. I think it's only the Delta sections, a couple of other places, and a certain new location which seems to be missing a lot from Doom, surprisingly, but in any case, I'll probably end up cutting it here, so on that note, I am Skully, keep it new metal, and I hope you look forward to seeing these parts recorded in 2016 or either January of 2017 or December of this year, so catch you on the flip side.